Hello, my name is PolishLynx, this is Everlasting Summer. We are in the canteen after, well, not so good situation, but maybe it will turn out good. Alright, what are you thinking about? Julian asked me cheerfully when we took our food and sat. The same thing. Come on, stop worrying about nothing! Maybe it's nothing for you. Well, really, what was particularly bad about it? Every situation can be interpreted from different angles. And especially if you have a reason. Come on, what's the worst that can happen? You know, our camp leader, she's a bit eccentric. I said, well, maybe. So, but we didn't do anything like that. Anything at all. I hope she believes that too. My relationship with Juliana had improved dramatically lately. At first I only saw her as a naughty, ill-mannered child, but now we start to see the good sides of her character. Although there weren't too many. And now, just when everything was starting to work out, a hard conversation with the camp leader loomed ahead. Maybe I just dreamt everything that happened, and Slavia's reaction this morning was just caused by surprise. Enjoying your meal? Olga was hanging over me. She looked at me menacingly. Yes! Would you mind explaining your behavior? Mind explaining what? Well, for example, how you happened to be in the cybernetics club athlete room? Where did you get the key? What were you even doing there? I recalled the circumstances in which I obtained the cursed key. I should speak to Electronic about that. If Slavia told you our version... We were watching a film, Uliana claimed seriously. The whole night? The camp leader asked sarcastically. Then I just fell asleep and Semyon stayed with me. And so, there was no chance for you to go to your cabins? Not even a tiny one. And what are you going to say? Well, it sounds really stupid, but she's right. You expect me to believe that? Well, it's the truth. I can't really accuse you of anything. The camp leader started slowly. But on the other hand, this entire situation is beyond normal. Pioneer must not behave this way. And there are too many inconsistencies in your story. We get it. I agreed fatalistically. I will do the following. Uliana, you are on detention, and you will be confined to your cabin, and I will decide what to do with you later. I looked at Uliana attentively. Contrary to my expectation, she didn't look upset. Clearly, I do not think this is your fault, but to be fair... Great! You know where to find me in case you need me! She stood up instantly and headed to the exit. Olga didn't try to stop her. There is always too much trouble with her, and she got you into all this. I don't really get what she got me into. And you seem to be too harsh on her. Show me another pioneer like her. The camp leader laughed. First time seeing her like that, and it's been a while since we started playing. Which episode this will be? 64th, I think? When she receives detentions for misbehaving, that's another story, but here... Actually, I don't really understand what was indeed going on, but my duty is to look after your moral character, and this situation is suspicious. Highly suspicious. And how long are you going to keep her imprisoned? I don't know. Olga pondered for some time. Today is the departure. But in these circumstances... What? What departure? I jumped at the word. The term is ending today. This is the last day. Eh? What? It was the only response I could squeeze out. The last day? Meaning... I finally be able to leave this contained camp! Maybe it's time for my suffering to end, and I'll get back to my ordinary reality. But why so suddenly? Sudden? For who? I talked about it in the lineup. She has a point. At the lineups I was usually sleeping or looking around and didn't really listen to the announcements. And at what time? At about 5 o'clock. Don't forget to get ready. I hardly have anything to pack. She stood up, took a trace and was going to leave. So what's going to happen to Uliana? I don't know yet, I told you. She will probably leave later. How's that? Not with everyone? Well, yeah. Is that normal? I was truly surprised. What's wrong with it? I don't know about wrong, but it's quite strange for sure. Well, I still have work to do. I dug aimlessly at my porridge, which had gone cold long ago. Right, now is my chance to hunt down this fly. And it freaking ran away. Fuck! Alright, I think that's what I read already. Departure, the possibility of getting out of here. But on the other hand, Uliana. I must have felt guilty before her. In the end, she was penalized while I, at the same time, wasn't. That's not fair. No, it's not like I wanted to share her misery, but I don't think that it's fair that she sits there locked up. Well, there's still some time before leaving. It should be quite enough to make the situation clear. First, I decided to talk with Slavia. I hope she has calmed down. I gotten used to finding Slavia at the square, so I went there without any doubts. Why exactly there? Because in this camp I predominantly met her there. But there wasn't a single soul near Jenda's heaven. I stood there for a while looking at the monument, then headed to the library. It makes sense that Xenia could know where her neighbor is right now. After knocking at the door, recalling my previous experience that was not a useless mannerism, I went in. Xenia distracted herself from her book and looked closely at me. What do you want? What's wrong? Why do you react like that? I can't even come in. What? You came here for no reason. I thought you wanted to read something. Well, no. The classics of Marxist-Leninism weren't my favorite literature. I wanted to know where Slavia is. Why do you want to know? She said that as if she was sure that the conversation is over, and thus she proceeded with her reading. Well, since I'm asking, clearly I need to know. Should be on the pier. Xenia answered indifferently. Thanks. Learning what I wanted to know, I hurried out of this stronghold of malice. Yeah, Xenia has a tough spirit. At least I have issues understanding her. On the pier, some pioneers were pulling boats in docks while others were running around with oars or ropes. After looking closely, I noticed Slavia, who sat quiet far away near the water. Cleaning up? I asked the most natural question that came to my mind. Yep, she answered without turning. Listen, I want to talk about Juliana? Well, yeah, kind of, maybe. Honestly speaking, I had no idea what to talk about. Slavia found us in the storage room, got it wrong, and told the ring to the camp leader. Now it's not her concern anymore, if you think about it. On the other hand, it would be a waste of time to talk to Olga Dmitrievna now. Maybe I just subconsciously wanted to understand Slavia's reasoning to be able to absolve her somehow. So, what did you want to say? Well, Uliana got punished. Maybe she won't even live with us. No wonder. I just wanted to explain to you that nothing special happened there. Frankly speaking, I don't know. I just had to report everything. So you did. Did it leave anyone better off? I mumbled to myself. Of course I'm not sure it was right, she said confusedly. Well, what's done is done. Do you think it's possible to get Uliana freed from house arrest? You're worried about her so much. Slavia finally looked at me and smiled. Not about her, about justice. Well, I was a bit confused. I found the right answer. Well, you know, our camp leader. I do, that's for sure. Just wait, she'll calm down eventually. Yeah, I guess that was the best decision. Yeah, you're right. I stood near her in silence for some time. Slavia didn't seem eager to keep on talking. Still, there was some sense of incompleteness, but faced with the idea of the uncomfortable situation lasting for several hours, I decided not to be a burden. Alright, I'll go then. See ya. She smiled. In the middle of the square, I stopped to think. There's still a lot of time till the departure, and I have nothing to do. Just yesterday, when it seemed like I was stuck here forever and had lots of time, even though there was actually very little, I felt I need to think and act faster. But now I've got only 5 hours left till I leave the camp forever. I have not the slightest idea how to spend them. I decided to visit Uliana. After all, even if she isn't allowed to leave her cabin, that doesn't mean I cannot pay her a visit. I knocked gently. "You're not welcome here!" An angry voice sounded from behind the door. I pulled on the handle and entered. "Hey, prisoner!"
"Ah, it's you,"
Uliana said disappointedly. "And what? Am I the one who isn't welcome here?" I tried to smile.
"Why did you come?"
"Well, I thought you'd be bored here all alone."
"I'm fine.
"Where is Alyssa?"
As you can see, not here."
"Come on, why are you so angry? In the morning you were in such a better mood."
"Angry? Me?"
"Not me, that's for sure."
"You have nothing else to do, so you came here, right?"
"Yeah, my bad." I sighed theatrically and hung my head.
"Well, sit down then."
I sat on the opposite bed.
"So, tell me something."
"Let's come up with a way to prove Olga Dmitrievna that we did nothing wrong."
"I did nothing wrong."
Uliana corrected me.
"You seem to have nothing to do with it."
"Alright, let it be."
"But why?"
A tricky question. It feels like we've swept our roles. I was suggesting a stupid plan while she was a voice of reason. Well, because we did nothing wrong.
"What's the matter with you anyhow?" "I'll just stay grounded for a couple of hours and that's it. We have to depart soon anyway."
She flopped down the bed and stared at the ceiling. "Well, sure, but..." I tried hard to cheer her up, but it looks like I haven't succeeded so far. "Want to do something, maybe?"
"It's lunchtime already."
I took a glance at my watch. "Yeah, right."
"Here's a job for you. Since I mustn't go out, go and bring me something to eat."
"Sir, yes sir." I saluted her and hurried out of the cabin. Recently I started to think that finally something has clicked in Uliana's mind. Maybe the punishment had an effect on her, or possibly it was something else. And my attitude towards her has changed. Her wrongdoings used to make me feel nothing but irritation, but now there was also understanding and a sort of sympathy. After all, I used to be a child too. Perhaps, if one explained to her what is right and what is not, she might be able to avoid many mistakes. In the canteen, I had an argument with the cook who refused to give me a double serving. However, everyone in the camp already knew about Uliana being grounded, so eventually my powers of persuasion won out over dietary standards. Soon I was sitting at Uliana's cabin and tucking away meatballs with potatoes. Just like a last meal.
"What are you talking about?"
"Well, every death row prisoner has the right to make a last wish. Thus, my last wish is a lunch like this."
"Huh?"
To my surprise, the food was really delicious. "What would your wish be?"
"Well, do not be executed, of course."
She laughed. "You can't."
"Why, if you can wish for anything?"
"Well, you can, but within certain limits."
"That means it's not anything."
"Well, okay then, it's not anything."
That's not interesting."
"Well, I believe being a death row prisoner is hardly meant to be interesting in the first place." I grinned through my teeth.
"I wouldn't know, I never went through that experience."
"But if you think about it, that's almost my situation. This camp is my cell. For several more hours I would stay under arrest and then I would face uncertainty, just like I would after death. The only difference is that I had more options. If I wanted to attend lineup, then I'd do so. If not, then I didn't. What are you going to do next?"
"What do you mean?"
"Well, after the camp." She looked at me in surprise.
"Back to school, of course."
"Yeah, only for me leaving this place is kind of like crossing a barrier, a frontier, the end of something and the beginning of something else. A week ago it was terribly hard for me to realize that I'd been pulled out of my usual world and brought to God knows where. But then I got used to it. And here we go again. Basically, the only difference is that now I face not a sense of fear and horror, but a blunt, sinking feeling of uncertainty."
"And you?"
Well, I will find something to do."
"Something?"
She burst into peals of laughter. "Yeah, what's the matter?"
"You should have gone to a circus school to be a clown."
"Why?"
"One can't help laughing when looking at you."
"But why?"
You always act like some kind of a martyr, a new messiah for all the Russians.
Well, there was quite a bit of truth in her words. I have my reasons. I mumbled and turned to face the window.
What reasons?
Various. Why are you so curious?
Have you forgotten that I'm a child?
She grinned archly. Well, half an hour ago with you is like a terrible torture for me.
Look who's talking, you're just one really nasty-tempered person.
What makes you think so?
You're always deep in soul searching. Trying to find out something, amazing, analyzing everyone around you.
Right, sorry for that.
Around you, right. I gave you an amazed look. I would never have expected such a little girl to be capable of such mature judgment. And that's it.
At the very least, I know how to behave myself and I don't end up grounded.
It's a matter of chance.
She grinned. Yeah, sure.
If last night...
She stopped short.
Last night what? Nothing.
No, finish what you started. She just opened her mouth when steps were heard behind the door, and a second later Olga Dmitrievna entered the room.
Ah, there you are, that's even better.
She seemed confused and lost for words.
Well, I reconsider this morning's incident. It's not like it became much clearer, but it doesn't look like a big deal. So, Uliana, you're officially not grounded anymore.
If only you did that right from the start. I muttered.
Did you say something?
No, nothing.
Departure is coming, time to pack your stuff.
Saying that, she left the cabin.
Now you see how it all turned out.
Yeah, I sighed. Are you going to pack?
Yeah, I guess so.
And you? It's not like I've got much to pack. Indeed, it was the truth.
Care to help me then?
Okay, sure, why not? She started to pull her clothes out of the cabinets and stack them on her bed. Watch it, you'll mess up everything.
It's okay, I will wash them at home.
T-shirts, skirts, shorts, dresses, shoes, trainers, underwear. A pile of clothes was growing and growing. You really brought all this stuff here all on your own? Considering Uliana's constitution, it was hard to believe.
Yeah, of course.
She laughed.
Come on, give me a hand.
We started to pack up the clothes into a big bag. I tried to pack things carefully at first, but after realizing that it's pointless, resorted to just stuffing everything in to make it all fit. At last there were no more clothes on her bed, and we even somehow managed to zip up the bag.
So that's it?
Yeah. I looked at the clock. It was about 40 minutes till the departure time.
You know, it was fun.
Meaning?
Well, the last week was fun.
Ah, yeah. I said absent-mindedly.
Don't you think so?
Why?
It sounded sort of insincere to me.
Well, I must admit that I'm not exactly walking on air. Yeah. Alright, it's been some time, so let's end the episode here and see you in the next one. Bye.